Hi. So I'm gonna do not a full face of favorites, but a face of favorites. I have a couple of staple products that I've been using for a really long time now that I just would love to share with you. Let's go. Side note, I have stretched ears that I stupidly did when I was 17 years old. And my new thing is putting surgical tape on the back of them and just putting hoops in because I just love wearing hoops. And what else can I do? I don't want to stitch them up. I don't know. It scares me. So yeah, they also sell like little like stickers to put behind your ears, but I find that surgical tape works way better and it stays on for days. So life hack. I know my hair is a little frizzy. That's because I am going to film a hair tutorial after this and I want to keep my hair in its natural state, which is poofy, frizzy. It's naturally curly and I brushed it out, so you can only imagine what it looks like from there, but let's just ignore that. All right, let's get it. I don't have a favorite moisturizer at the moment, so I just put on whatever I had, but I do have a favorite SPF and it is the Nudestix SPF 30. This comes in different shades, so this is the clear one, Tint Free Cool, that's what it's called. And then there's also, I think there's two more, very bad shade range, but the translucent one is great. I am just gonna take a few pumps. I'll do 3 pumps. Did anyone else see that video on TikTok of the girl showing how much SPF you're supposed to use? And she uses like half the bottle. It's a pretty old video, so I'm sure everyone who is an avid TikToker has seen it, but kind of crazy to me. I'm not gonna go out and spend $30+ on like a luxury SPF and then use half the bottle. So, I mean, maybe that is how much you're supposed to use, but I can't get into that. Even 3 pumps is too much, as you can see. So when you put this on, it does leave a white cast at first, but it eventually settles in and you don't see that white cast. Right now, I'm sure I look crazy. I'm gonna let this sit on my skin for the next 5 minutes and then I'll come right back and show you how it's actually settled in. So I will be back in 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. You can see how it's settled into my skin at this point. It doesn't have a huge white cast, but it does leave a nice cool tone on my skin. So it's really glowy, it's cool toned, and it doesn't break me out, which is why I like it as much as I do. There are so many SPFs out there that leave this kind of finish, so it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's not this revolutionary product, but it works for me and I really, really like it. So, and it lasts really nicely underneath makeup as well. Next, we have my favorite, the OG Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I use the shade 1 Fair. I used to use shade 2, but then I was like, who are you fooling? You are pale AF. So yeah, the Hollywood Flawless Filter, it's amazing. I also used to use the small size, and it is not even comparable to the big size. Like, big difference, and not only in the packaging, but in the applicator. So the small size, you can see the doe foot applicator is really, really small. And then the big one, the doe foot applicator is pretty large. So, I mean, when it comes to what's more satisfying to put on your face, that one.
That's what she said. Or he said.
I'm gonna put a Michael Scott joke in there. I'm gonna sneeze. That was a weird sneeze. Okay, so the Hollywood Flawless Filter, it can be used as a primer or it can be used on its own as like a dewy natural foundation. I definitely use it more like a dewy foundation on its own than I use it as a primer or as like a base to my makeup, or it's really nice to mix with your makeup too. So I'm just gonna put it on its own so you can see the finish. I slather this all over my face, like give me all of it. And then I go in with a brush, which leads me to my next favorite, this brush. Precision Foundation Brush by Ulta Beauty that I picked up on accident one day because it was on sale for $2. For $2 freaking dollars. It has like this curvature. Actually, the bristles are kind of falling out at this point, but I've had this for 4 years, I think. 4 years at this point. So it's had its wear and tear. I don't know if they make it anymore. I hope they still make it. I checked their website and it looks like it's there. I'm gonna like put a picture of it over here. It says it's the Precision Foundation number 12 brush. It looks like it's this. I hope it is. But it should be angled like that. Anyway, I really like this to just apply my base products with. And look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. So you see the Charlotte Tilbury is really, really radiant, really glowy. It leaves your skin looking like glass. It actually gives you that glass finish. So that's amazing. I see so many people posting dupes of this product, and I'm someone who's definitely thought that they've encountered dupes of it in the past. Like, oh my God, this is the same exact thing. But no matter what, it's not. It's not. The products that are dupes for it either have shimmer in them, they don't have the same exact glass-like finish, and they don't last the same way that this lasts. I really truly think that this is such a one-of-its-kind kind of product. My camera died. Anyway, you're not going to be able to get the same exact finish with any other product, in my opinion. And it sucks because it's so expensive. It really is. But if you want to splurge on a product that will really radiate your skin, this is the one product I will always recommend. Love it. Moving on. Sometimes I don't really like wearing foundation, especially when I'm going for the natural, more radiant look. And especially when I'm going out in daylight, I'm really self-conscious of how people can see my foundation on top of my skin. And don't get me wrong, like your makeup is makeup. You're gonna see it. I think I say that in every single one of my videos. But makeup is makeup. You're gonna see it no matter what. But sometimes I don't want that, you know? So I will do like a very light skin tint kind of finish. What is happening with my hair? They're just really, really light coverage. So I have actually been using the, and bear with me, no pun intended, the NYX Bear With Me concealer. I've been using this like a foundation. So I will either use this on its own, do like tiny dots all over my face and just blend it in, or I will mix this with the Flawless filter. I'm just gonna put a few dots all over my face, like the smallest dots ever. I know, what's the point? And that's like an exact shade match for me, so if you can't see it, that's why. I would go in with this brush, but I have another favorite foundation brush, and it's this baby. E.l.f. Buffing Foundation Brush. It's dirty. And yes, it has blush on it. I don't care, I'm still gonna use it.
Wow, crazy. You're crazy, girl.
I've been on the hunt for a really good foundation brush for the longest time now, and I've bought so many expensive brushes. I've tried it all. I was like, why am I spending so much money trying to find the perfect brush when E.l.f. exists? I really, really love E.l.f. They're one of my favorite drugstore brands alongside Milani and Wet n Wild, always. This brush is amazing because it's really, really soft and it just blends your foundation in beautifully. You know how sometimes a buffing brush can be too rough and it feels like it's exfoliating your face? This one doesn't feel like that. This one just beautifully blends your makeup in. Can you tell I'm a fan? I'm a fan. So yeah, like that is a gorgeous finish in my opinion. You can still see your skin, you're still glowing. Beautiful. Regina. It's a great concealer on its own too, but I just like to use it as a foundation because it is pretty glowy, you know, and it's infused with serum, so I don't know what kind of serum. I don't know what the serum is supposed to do, but it does something, I guess. Moving on to concealer. I stopped using this a while ago and I don't know why. Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector concealer thingy. I know Becca got bought out by Smashbox. Just putting concealer under my eyes doesn't really do much for me. I'm like, I need color correction. And I don't have like dark circles like that, but I do want to elevate them a little bit. So that's why I use this, because it has the pink undertone to it and it really does brighten underneath my eye. I go in with my finger and I just put some under my eye like so. And this is also really hydrating, really dewy. I don't like a matte under eye. I want my whole face to glow without looking oily, if that makes sense. And then I press it in with my finger. You don't always need a tool. Sometimes your finger is the best tool. But if you do want a tool, that leads me to my next favorite, which is the Wet n Wild sponge. Do you see how soft that is? That's really, really soft. And it's only like $4. It has a straight flat surface over here, and then everything else is rounded. I love this, and compared to a beauty blender, it works just as well, if not better. It's so bouncy, and it just blends your products in really well. It's like the right elasticity, the right texture, and it's like $4. Unbeatable, you know? I'm so hesitant to spending $20 on a sponge that I'm just gonna have to keep like throwing out, which is so not eco-friendly. I have hoarded this for a long time. I've had this for like almost a year now, but look, it's in fantastic condition. I take such good care of it. I wash it all the time, so she's clean. Next, I'm sure we all know this. Yeah. Nice. It's great. The Rare Beauty blush, they're amazing. They're really, really pigmented. You really do get bang for your buck, because this bottle, I'm gonna die with this bottle. You know, like this is gonna last me my whole life. You only need 1 dot of this. And it's a pro and a con. For a makeup lover, it's a con because you get sick of products so more often than not that you just kind of want to switch it up, and like shades, you know, like I want a different shade for the summer versus the winter, so whatever. That's the only con, and it's not even a real con. This product stays on your skin, is so pigmented, and a little bit goes a long way. So I'm just gonna do 1 dot. Call me crazy. That's so much. That is way too much, but it's okay. I'm gonna go in with my finger so you can see how pigmented that really is. It's ridiculously pigmented. And I still smile when I put my blush on, so smiling. I'm gonna take my trusty sponge and just blend that in. I'm gonna let it absorb some of the product because it needs to. And yeah, bring it on, bring it under your eye. Because regardless, my under eye has that pink hue to it because of the color corrector I just put on. So the more pink, the better. Obviously not too much, but it's okay if it gets under your eye. You don't want that contrast between your concealer and your blush too. Bring it over your nose, give you that sun-kissed finish. I like to bring it up here too. Anybody else have a 3-head and always wanted a 4-head? I know that's like the weirdest thing to want or to say, but you know, we all have complaints about our own bodies that are ridiculous, but I always wanted a bigger forehead. And I feel like when I put blush on my forehead, it makes it look a little bigger. It's in my head, isn't it? Next product is not necessarily a favorite, but it's just something I've been using nonstop. I like it, I have it, I like it, why not? It's the Revolution Beauty Fast Base Concealer, and I use this as a contour stick. So it comes on a little poof like that. I didn't love this at first, but now I'm just like, wait, I actually kind of like this. I use the shade C14. Squeeze some out, and then I just do a little dottage like that. And then I'm gonna blend it out. I am gonna use a brush. I'm gonna use the Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques. I actually really like this one too. Not a favorite, but I like it. It is nice. It's like kind of narrower, so it's good to blend out contour. So I'm just gonna go like that. Contour, bronzer, whatever this is. I'm not necessarily contouring my face with this, I'm just warming it up a little bit. So cream bronzer, I'll call this. Just to add a little bit of warmth. And maybe we can contour with it too. Let's see, I'll put a little bit on my nose, down here, and on the sides. Can I really quickly talk about my least favorite product that I've tried recently? I actually don't know why I repurchased this. I had this in the big size and then I got rid of it, and then I bought the small size, the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in the shade Amber. I really don't like it. I don't know why. I bought it because it was cool toned, and I was like, oh, I can keep this in my bag and like do this, like put it around my lip area. Because when you put contour around your lip area, it makes it look bigger. But this just doesn't do it for me. And I'm sure it's just the wrong shade, but ugh. Ugh. Ooh, I don't like that. I need to fix this. Why did I do that? Anyway, yeah, so then I'm just gonna use my finger just to blend out that nose contour. And yeah, not bad. It works. It works. Something I always do after doing my nose contour is I do put a little bit of concealer. So whatever I used under my eyes, just to make sure I'm using everything within the same tones, I'll put on the tip of my nose and in the center too. Kind of highlights it. Boom. Next, I'm going to go in with highlighter. Now, this is a dupe. This is a Charlotte Tilbury dupe.
Flashback.
I'm someone who's definitely thought that they've encountered dupes of it in the past. Like, oh my god, this is the same exact thing.
End of flashback.
Literally a dupe for those blushes that are always sold out and highlighters that are always sold out. This is by Flower Beauty. It is the Spotlight Liquid Highlighter in the shade Opal, and it comes on a poof just like the Charlotte Tilbury one does. It has a beautiful finish, so I'm gonna put some on here. That's probably too much, but I'm gonna use my finger to blend it out so that no sponge or brush absorbs any product, so you can really see. I'll use my finger on this side, and then I'll use whatever, then I'll use a tool on the other side. Really pretty, really pretty. See, it's glowy. It's not glittery or anything like that. Okay, then I'm gonna use my sponge on this side. The sponge just absorbs some product, so it really depends on the finish you're going for. I mean, honestly, those look exactly the same. Ignore what I said before. Those look the same. So yeah, and then I'll take whatever's left over and just put it on the tip of my nose. So typically what my next step would be my eyebrows. Before doing my makeup, before doing my foundation, right after I do my skincare, I would typically use a brow laminating product if I don't already have my eyebrows laminated. And I don't have a favorite brow laminating product at all. I've tried them all. I've tried the Anastasia Brow Freeze, and it always left white crusties. I've tried the NYX Super Glue, or whatever it's called. Nothing special. I've tried countless like brow lamination gels, like off of Etsy and just from salons and stuff like that. I have the Rafaella brow lamination sculptor. I have the Makeup by Mario brow lamination product, and then I have the Revolution Beauty soap brow. I have so many. I would like these a lot, but this is just for over $20. Like, there's barely any product in this. I think it's what, 0.10 fluid ounces, which is like the same as a sample size of like the Benefit brow gels that you can get at Sephora, I think. It doesn't make sense. And the brush is really nice, but it doesn't really pick up that much product, and I kind of have to like really work it in, but it also leaves white crusties. So pass. And then the Rafaella, I really wanted to love this. It's actually pretty good, but the product itself is white. As you can imagine, will leave white crusties. And it's not even just because of the product, it's because of the brush. As you can see, that's so dirty. It's super dirty. So after you would apply that, you would just comb that through, but I don't know how to clean this. I can't clean this every time I use this, and every time I comb it through, it just like, I don't know if it just dries up and creates white crusties, but white crusties, white crusties, white crusties, white crusties. If you guys have a recommendation for a cruelty-free brow lamination product that isn't actually a brow lamination kit, because I have those, drop them below. I know I've used hair gel before and it's been really, really good, but I have to find a good cruelty-free hair gel because the one that I previously used wasn't cruelty-free. So that's enough of my rant. This is a favorites video, not a dislikes video. No shade to those brands because I do truly love them, but I'm gonna go do my eyebrows off camera. Typically what I would use to fill in my eyebrows is the NYX Micro Pencil, and It's amazing, amazing. I ran out of it, so I don't have it right now, but let's pretend like I'm using it. Okay, eyebrows are done, and I mean, as good as they can be. Moving on, I will do eyeshadow, and this is a little not traditional because this is not an eyeshadow product, but the Fenty Beauty How Many Carats Diamond Balm. I love to use this as eyeshadow because it's really sparkly. This is like just really, really fine specks of shimmer. Hope you can see on camera. Really fine specks of shimmer, but they have like a, it's like so fine that it almost looks like a wet finish in certain lightings. So that's why I really like it. I use this every day. Next, my Ride or Die liquid eyeliner is the Wet n Wild. This is the shade brown, but it's the Mega Liner, and it has the perfect applicator. It's a really soft felt tip. It's kind of like a crossbreed between a felt tip and a feather tip. I'm just gonna go in and put that on my eyelid. Oh, also typically I would set my eyelids with powder, but I don't have a talc-free powder at the moment that I'm loving. I have been looking to get the Kosas one, but it's sold out every single time, so gonna wait. I think it's okay for now, but if I don't put powder on my eyelids, my mascara just goes all over the place. But any recommendations for talc-free powders, let me know, aside from the Kosas one. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the Kosas one. I'm gonna do this off camera. Liquid eyeliner is done. They are sisters, not twins. I used to be able to do this in my sleep, and nowadays it's a struggle. I'm just gonna take an eyeliner pencil, like a regular kohl pencil, and just fill in my waterline. Any eyeliner works. I'm gonna do my mascara off camera. My mascara is done, but I did that, and I really quickly wanted to come on camera to just show how to get rid of that. Wait for it to dry. I'm sure people know this trick, but just in case you don't. Wait for it to dry and then take a spoolie and just comb it out. Okay, I did not wait for it to dry. When it's dry and you just take your spoolie, it comes right off. So, okay, I cleaned it up. There's still some black cast there, but whatever, it's fine. Now I'm just gonna do my lips. Typically my favorite lip liner is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I think there's a few shades. I'm just gonna put the one that I usually use up there in the description. But I don't have that one right now, so I'm just gonna go in with my Plan B. Well, no, not even Plan B because they're both equally as good. The NYX 810 Natural. It's just a nice natural lip liner. It's good for anyone that's really fair-skinned like me and wants a not too dark, not too nude, easy on the face lip liner. I have lip balm on, so that's why it's not going on as sharp. Really pretty. I overline my lips just a little bit, not too much. I've fallen into the big lip trend before and it's not for me anymore. I don't really like it. I do still overline my lips just to give more dimension, and I do still love lip plumpers, but I don't want to overdo it. What you have is beautiful. Anyway, now that I'm done preaching, the Maracujá Juicy lip plump is amazing. Really, really good. I got the darkest shade, but watch. You put it on, that is not the darkest shade, you know? It's like a really, really light tint, but it has like a minty feel, so it makes you feel like tingly. I like that feeling a lot, so yeah. I think it's really pretty. I love the mintiness. There are two things that I just want to call out really quickly. Typically, I love to use Falscara, but not the 10-day bonder, not like the overnight seal, because that does not work. But the regular Falscara, just for the day, works really, really well. So I'll use the bond, brush it on my eyelids? Brush it on my eyelashes, and then I did buy Falscara lashes just because I like these lashes a lot, but you can use any lash. You can even take a big strip lash and just cut it in pieces and use that, and then I'll put them on, and then I'll seal it, and they stay on all day. The reason I like these more than a regular lash band is because it doesn't go on top, so you don't see your lash glue. It goes over here inside, and the bond is black, so it just kind of fills in your waterline too. So I really, really like that. And then I want to call out a powdered blush. The Hello Halo by Wet n Wild is kind of iconic. It's really good. It's talc-free also. If you haven't watched that documentary on HBO Max, Not So Pretty, really, really, really recommend you watch it because it talks about how hazardous talc is for you, and I'm a sucker, of course. Now I want everything talc-free, but this is talc-free. It has 2 shades. This is the color Flash Me, and it has like a gold shade and then a really, really pretty pink shade. So I'm just gonna put it on and I'm gonna mix them together. But the reason I really love this is because it's pigmented, it's glowy, but for a powdered blush, this stays on all day. Like, it does not budge. That's basically it. That's all my favorites at the moment. It's not necessarily my full makeup routine, but I will do a separate video of that. I just wanted to call out some of my favorite products at the moment. Future me popping in to say I was not recording my outro, but thank you for watching. If you have any recommendations, if you have favorites, if you have talc-free powder recommendations, anything that you really, really love, drop it in the comments below. And I'll test anything out, so yeah, please do. Thank you, bye. Moving on to Everything is Falling.